What's going on, everybody? I'm Dan Unfiltered, as you know, and this is my first live, and I thought a good way to test to see how it goes, like performance-wise, would be Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, I know, because for two reasons. One, if it goes horribly and it lags and the Wi-Fi is trash, then I don't think anyone would complain or care that much. But if it goes well, also thumbs up, I guess. Let's check it out. And Sonic the Hedgehog, everyone knows what it's about. Sega. One of the most iconic video games in history, a big chunk of nostalgia, and a big part of my childhood. Yeah. And the movie on IMDb, this is the plot they have for it. After discovering a small, blue, fast hedgehog, a small-town police officer must help him defeat an evil genius who wants to do experiments on him. Nah. That's like Robotnik's plot. But the main plot of the movie is Sonic loses his bag of rings. Yes, his rings are in a bag. I guess that makes sense, I guess. Where else are you going to keep them? Cool. He loses his bag of rings in San Francisco, and he needs to get there. That's it. That's the plot. And the whole time, though, yes, Robotnik is chasing him to experiment on him. But the main plot is Sonic needs to get to San Francisco to recover his rings. And, being honest with you, not bad. Not bad at all. Like I don't know if I'd ever would have expected to say that from a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's like they can't do Dragon Ball Z well at all, and they only could do one good Mortal Kombat movie. And Street Fighter was, let's be honest, not a great movie unless you're a child at the time. But they did Sonic well. This reminded me very much of Pokemon, the Detective Pikachu movie that came out recently. It was a lot like that. They're pretty close. Both are pretty good. Pretty damn good. And this was from a first-time director. I think his name is Ed Fowler. Good job, homie. Or Fred. Whatever. Fowler. Good job, man. And let's just get into the best scenes of the movie. And there's going to be spoilers here, so if you haven't seen it and you want to see it, then I guess don't watch this. But if you have seen it, then let's have fun. Or if you just don't care and you just want to talk and chill, let's have fun, everybody. The best scenes, normally for best scene category, I like to have some nominees and break them down. But this movie's kind of different. It's literally everything with Jim Carrey in it. That's the winner of best scene. Any scene with Jim Carrey as Robotnik. That's it. And who would have expected that? Who would have expected that? From when they announced Jim Carrey was playing Dr. Robotnik, I think everyone, or at least 95% of the planet, laughed at that idea. It's not a great idea. It isn't. He's not fat. He's not short. He doesn't have a big, long, goofy mustache. It didn't seem to make sense. Then when you watch the movie, I don't know if I could picture anyone else doing Dr. Robotnik. Like a young Danny DeVito, just because he fits the portfolio? No, or the profile? No. Bob Hoskins, R.I.P., again, because he fits the profile? No. I think it might just be Jim Carrey. Maybe you could try Robin Williams when he was around, but no. Jim Carrey pulled this off, and he literally owned every scene he was in as Dr. Robotnik. Like, he gave everything to it. As ridiculous as that sounds, Jim Carrey did not half-ass a single scene here, which boggles my mind. It does. It just does. So yeah, the winner of, and my choice for the best scene in the movie is anytime Jim Carrey is on the screen. That's it. That's it. And just real quick, can we just talk about the way Sonic looked? He looked much better. Way better. The first time we saw him, I think all of you have heard, everyone has heard, that, good Lord, that first trailer was a complete disgrace, a debacle, and things that nightmares are made of. It, the director and said they tried to make it look more like realistic since it was going to be live action. They wanted him not to stand out as a cartoon. They tried to make it look real. No, man, it looked terrible. Let's just say that. People have insulted it for long enough. I don't need to add on. You guys know it was atrocious. This was way better. It looked like Sonic. I will say the CGI wasn't perfect with him. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't bad, though. He didn't stand out as atrocious. But at least the model was right. At least the model was right. And James Marsden as Tom, the police officer that helps Sonic get to San Francisco. Look, James Marsden, I don't care about James Marsden. Does anyone have an opinion about James Marsden? I don't think anyone does. I told my girlfriend about this movie last night, and she had no idea who James Marsden is. I had to say the guy, Cyclops from the original X-Men, and she's still like, oh, okay, I guess. She still couldn't picture him. That's just who James Marsden is. And here he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything poorly. But he didn't do anything great. You know, I mean, he just did the part. I have no complaints, but he doesn't bring chemistry in anything he does. There's no spark. There's no zest. And he just did his job, I guess. You know, I mean, I would have preferred, just relax, everyone, but I would have preferred maybe a Ben Stiller. Not to be goofy and crazy. That's what Jim Carrey's job was in the movie. But maybe to play like a kind of a straight man Ben Stiller. I think he could have brought some charm to the movie. And speaking of replacing people, this is the Replaceables, where let's talk about the people who actually auditioned for some of these parts. For the voice of Sonic, and let me just state, the voice of Sonic, the man who did it, he's not a big star. He's only been in a couple like little things. I can't even remember what his name is, but he's not who I would have expected them to get to be the title character here. But they auditioned Tom Holland from Spider-Man, which I could see it. I really could. Chris Pratt, I don't know about that one. Andy Samberg, Bill Hader, Will Forte. Yeah, they went down a little Saturday Night Live patch there. Jim Parsons. That one boggles my mind. I don't see Big Bang Theory Jim Parsons being Sonic. How? I don't even know how. No, why even waste everyone's time by having him audition? Charlie Day. Now, Charlie Day would have given the movie a completely different vibe. I could see it, and it would be absolutely hilarious to hear his cracking voice come out of Sonic, but no, that's a completely different movie. No, I don't think we can do that. And Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's another one that I think he could work. But Paul Rudd also auditioned for the role of Tom instead of James Marsden, and that's it. That's the one. Paul Rudd should have been Tom, the police officer. He's naturally charming. He puts off a natural charisma that while you watch him, you just naturally just want to like the guy. James Marsden, he's not unlikable, but he doesn't come off as likable. I don't want to go chill with the guy. Paul Rudd, I want to go chill with. And then we have the role of Tom. Again, Paul Rudd is one. Chris Evans, Captain America. Captain fucking America in a Sonic movie. I guess he could have. He could have. I wouldn't have been mad at it, but no, I just don't think he would stand out too much. I mean, we all know he's buff and huge. No, this is supposed to be kind of a small town police officer. Paul Rudd works. He has the build for it. James Marsden worked because he has the build for it. No, Mr. Evans is kind of big. He's kind of buff. He'd stand out like a sore thumb in this small town. Then we had Jake Johnson. He would have also worked. New Girl, if you guys don't know, he's the guy from New Girl. Michael B. Jordan. Still, no, I doubt it. I don't know. I don't like it. It just doesn't feel. It doesn't feel right. Bill Hader, again. Jason Segel. Look, a lot of people hate Jason Segel. I like Jason Segel, surprisingly. I actually like almost anything he's in, I'm on board for. Yeah, he looks like he smells like mustard. Yeah, he looks a little greasy and a little like he needs to take a shower. I gotcha. That's cool. But I think he's hilarious, and he's ridiculously likable. I want to root for him in everything I see him in. So I guess he could have worked. The movie just would have been funnier. And I guess he could pull off child funny because he was in the Muppets movie. All right, Jason Segel, add him to a list of people that could have replaced Marsden as Tom. And then we had, last and not least, surely not least, Justin Timberlake. When was the last time we saw him in a movie? Does he even really act like that anymore? I feel like it's been a while. Last thing I can remember him from was In Time. Which is pretty good, by the way, but still. No, I'm good. Again, I think he would have stuck out as a small time. This is supposed to be like a little podunk style cop. Not really. Justin Timberlake would kind of stand out, if you know what I mean. Kind of a good looking man. Now I have another segment. Just little complaints. I call them, bitch fits. And I'm going to have a little couple bitch fits. Small ones, like nitpicks, you know what I mean? Yeah. The whole premise of the movie was Sonic, again, losing his rings. They fell through a little portal in San Francisco, across the country. And he doesn't know how to get there, so he needs James Marsden to drive him there. Yeah. Couldn't he have just used a map? GPS of some sort? Just cut the whole Marsden character out? Robotnik would have no chance of catching him. That's the only reason Robotnik could keep up. Is because they're just driving in a cop car. So yeah, that's kind of stupid. It is. It was stupid. Like it's in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the movie when they explain this, you're like, couldn't you use a map? Like, just map it, GPS. And it's like, well, don't tell me he doesn't have a phone to GPS or can't get a map. Because on another bitch fit of mine is he steals a lot. Sonic steals a lot in this movie. They don't consider it stealing or even make it feel like it. But when you think about it, every costume he wears, and every time he zooms out, zooms back, and he has like an apple or something, he stole all those things. He can't buy anything. He doesn't have a job. And I doubt he's using his rings for currency. So he's just stealing shit. That's just what he's doing. He's a very fast fucking thief. That's what Sonic does. They have a bit that they keep showing in all the trailers where he's in the car. He wants James Marsden to pull over, Tom, to pull over and stop at at some souvenir shop. And Tom tells him no. And he leaves. He just zooms out of the fucking car and immediately comes back about 2.5 seconds later. And he's covered in souvenirs and signs and tells him, oh, it's fine. It sucked anyway. You stole all of that. You didn't buy anything. You have no currency. You have no money. Am I the only one who noticed that? Like, I don't know. Maybe he has a side job. Maybe he has a job we don't know about. I'm just saying. Just saying. And the comedy in the movie, some of the jokes, some of them did land. Almost anything Jim Carrey did kind of landed. And some of it landed really well. Anytime Jim Carrey talked about his Agent Stone, which is like his right-hand man, his sidekick, and he shit all over him, and it was excellent every single time. It was great. It was great. Every line was great. But some of the other jokes coming from like Marsden or Sonic himself, they're kind of a lot of like dad jokes or jokes that would have been way better in the late 90s. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know if that one's it. Not sure about it. Not sure about it. But overall, the comedy was okay. The writing was, it was okay. And of course, other people are going to mention their biggest complaint probably of the entire movie is probably that they clearly rip off Quicksilver with the slowing down time, running around shit, stopping missiles while everything is frozen. Sonic can move. I got it. I understand that. But come on. If only one movie has really done that, one, maybe two, maybe three, have ever done that effect where a super fast person can move so fast that everything else stays still and they can like adjust bullets out of the way and stuff like that. It's only happened a couple times with like one character, maybe two. Who cares? That's fine. It's Sonic. Let him do it. It's fine. But yeah, I've heard people complain about them ripping off Quicksilver. It's like, God damn it. Most movies are rip-offs of something else in the past. We got to move on. Iron Man looks like a rip-off of Rocketeer. Like, it. Who cares? It's fine. And then, I don't know if we got to spend any time on this category. The MVP. Jim Carrey. Come on. This is easy. All right, I'll say two. Jim Carrey and whoever convinced the studio to remake the way Sonic looked. There you go. There's your two MVPs. But Jim Carrey carried the entire movie. He had a scene where they played music and he kind of like danced to it. For some reason, you couldn't look away. It's Jim Carrey dancing weird as Dr. Robotnik. But you can't look away. And I really appreciated that. Again, he didn't half-ass a single scene, as shocking as that is. And there's, at the climax of the movie, he's coming at him on his little ship that he makes. Robotnik finally gets his iconic little hover ship that shoots missiles and shit and drops little robotic animal things. He's chasing Sonic down the street, shooting missiles at him. And Sonic, I do like the ending here. Sonic goes into his little ball super electricity mode, and he bounces off the buildings and into Robotnik's ship over and over again. And it made sense. It felt like the game. Because in the game, you jump on him as your little ball, bing, bing, like 3-4 times, and he bursts. He basically did that. It was great. Like, I like when they can take something from a video game and make it look real, like, and seem kind of realish. You know what I mean? Like, Battleship, the board game Battleship. They made the movie Battleship. The movie was, a lot of people hated it. Rihanna was in it for some goddamn reason. But there was a couple good parts, like when they shot little red like missiles, the alien battleship, it would shoot little red missiles into ship and they'd explode and sink the ship. Battleship. You read little things, sink the ship. I like when things like that kind of correlate. Like they made it work. I'm okay with it. And then we had the main takeaways from this movie is one, again, you can give Jim Carrey almost anything to do, and he has at least a good chance of pulling it off. He does. Anything from Ace Ventura's ridiculous shit, which was fantastic, to The Mask, fantastic, to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, fantastic. Now you put him in Sonic's world as Dr. Robotnik. He looks nothing like what people would expect. And I think it was a home run. I think he hit a home run here. By far the best thing in the movie. Yeah. Jim Carrey, man, I hope they give him some better roles soon. I really do. Like, this isn't bad, and they have a bunch of sequels planned, and you could tell the ending. After he gets shot into another dimension by Sonic, he lands on Sonic's home planet, I think it's supposed to be. It's got mushrooms everywhere, so it's another level, another board from the Sonic Genesis games, the Sega Genesis games. And he lands there, and he's shaving his head bald. And he's got the Robotnik stash. So, clearly, they've got a sequel working right now. And surprisingly, I won't say excited, but I want to see it. Somehow, for some reason, this movie made me want to see that. When they said this movie's being made, I expected a train wreck. Jim Carrey, he sold it. He sold it, and the rest wasn't bad. Everyone else just did their job. Even the voice of Sonic, he wasn't great, but he wasn't egregious. And I'm glad they didn't go the route of someone super famous, or super funny, like a Seth Rogen or something. Because the Detective Pikachu just did that with Ryan Reynolds. You don't want to copy them verbatim. Don't do the exact same formula. So this was kind of like an unknown guy. He did okay. He was kind of annoying. They had Sonic talk a little too much for my liking. He came off kind of like Ezra Miller in Flash. In the Justice League. He talked super fast and kind of a lot. But luckily, he didn't have many scenes in the Justice League, so he wasn't annoying. Sonic was close. He was close to annoying. Kind of irritating. But it's all good. And the biggest takeaway is, God damn it, they can make good video game movies. It can happen. We had like a 15 to 20 year period where all of them sucked. All of them. We had like a glimmer of hope. Like Resident Evil was good. The first one. We've had, 6 more after that? No, thank you. No, thanks. Mila Jovovich, you might need to find a new career or something, because if that's all you're doing is Resident Evil movies, it's time to move on. They're done, and I think all of us are done with them. But yeah, Detective Pikachu is pretty good. It's like we're kind of coming back. I think it might be time to try another Mortal Kombat. It's been talked about for a while. I think it might be time. People are starting to figure out the formula of how to do video game movies. So I'm excited for it. And my grade of the movie, after all these, I tried to stay mostly positive here. And I give Sonic the Hedgehog movie a C+. Yeah, it's watchable. It's watchable. I dare even say almost rewatchable. Almost. Yeah. Like I'm not going to go out of my way I'm not going to the theaters again. Not doing that. But if one of my kids wants to watch Sonic again for the second or third time, I'm not going to be furious. It's better than Trolls. Better than Trolls. It's better than a lot of these things. I like it more than Frozen 2. It's better than a lot of these things. There's a lot worse movies we could watch with your children than Sonic the Hedgehog, I guarantee you. So, if you have kids and you were dreading introducing them to Sonic, don't. This movie's pretty good. Even for the parents, it's pretty enjoyable. I give it a C+. It is watchable. Almost a B-, almost rewatchable. Keep it watchable. And guys, I appreciate it. I'm gonna start doing this a lot more often, probably one a week, and probably on the weekend. I think the weekend will work best for everybody. And if you enjoyed this, let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you want to be a part of the live, and you can comment. You can tell me who you would be. Like, comment on stuff. Name, give me your bitch fits, your MVP, your biggest takeaway, best scene, who you think would have been better than James Marsden as Tom, and if anyone could have replaced Jim Carrey as Robotnik. So yeah. Let me know next weekend. Let me know down in the comment section for this video. But next weekend, when we do the next movie, join me for the live. Comment. We have a full conversation about it. Be a good time. And if you are still here, you are a real one. See, this is why it's a test, because I don't know what the hell's going on here.